Hey everyone, Big Mac here. Welcome to 20 Things. This is just a random filler video. But yeah, so here's 20 random facts about me. Number 20. I often fall asleep to people's LPs. Usually it's people that I'm subscribed to, and it's either an LP that I am deeply invested in, or that I'm definitely not, that I haven't ever watched before, so I'm not, I don't have as much interest in it. If it's like an LP that I've seen like once or twice, though, I've tested it and I can't fall asleep to those ones because it's like I half remember these things and it's keeping me awake. The worst culprit, though, of people whose LPs that I watch to fall asleep are my own. Either that means that I find myself boring or what, I don't know, but I fall asleep to my own LPs. I have convinced myself that my cell phone has determined when I'm going to die. If you're crafty and can decode, the magical mystery, you can probably figure out what my phone number is. But yeah, I've concluded that I am determined, or fate has said that March 9th, 2055 is my calling card, or whatever. The most one-sided game of Battleship ever. One time when I was in 9th grade, I was going to try and get some allergy shots so that I could try and develop an immunity to some stuff so that I wouldn't have to be taking allergy medicine all the time. So what the doctor did was, I was off my meds for about a week. I hated it. I felt like crap. The doctor, made this little grid thing on my back and just started testing out, different things of which I was allergic to in order to try and, come up with a kind of dosage, just to get into an allergy shot regimen. So, we were trying everything, dairy products, pet dander, dust, any and everything you can think of. Of the 50 things that they tested for, I reacted to 48 of them. So I had some kind of reaction to basically almost every stimulus that they had, be it food or be it just, animal fur or whatever. The only two exceptions was something called pigweed and feathers. So apparently I'm perfectly fine having pet birds. But everything else, I know everything else makes me sneeze, but I've already become accustomed to it, and we wound up giving up on the allergy shots anyway once we found out they were going to be way too expensive. So, hooray for unnecessary pain! Yay! Soap! Meh. I don't use soap as often as I should. The one exception of that being I do wash my hands probably over careful, probably a little bit on the extreme side, but washing your hands is like the best way to prevent, illnesses and stuff. And seeing as how often I find myself sneezing because of all my allergies, yeah, I need to keep my hands clean as much as possible. Plus, doing board work, sharing markers, and who knows what other germs are inside those classrooms. Ugh. Same thing goes with deodorant. I try not to use deodorant as often as possible. I will make exceptions, usually including birthdays, fancy dinners, and interviews. I got admitted to my undergraduate college with 58 units. So, in terms of enrollment, I was, practically a junior. Again, it depended on your program and stuff, but, 60 is normally the cutoff for being considered a junior. So I was almost there with only courses that I had taken through high school. I took a lot of advanced placement tests in high school. So, I got credit for Spanish, I got credit for physics, I got credit for math, I got credit for U.S. history, for English, for econ. It also helped me out a lot because in terms of the general ed courses that I needed to take, my math major required, I think, 7. Well, you're supposed to have like 7 of them for most general majors. I only had to take 2. So I was very happy about that. I had finished those up on my sophomore year, so it wasn't that big of an issue. That way I could actually focus on the courses I wanted to take for my major. I hate coffee. I cannot stand coffee. Um, People ask how do I manage to, survive as a grad student? Is I get my caffeine through other ways, mostly soda. I do try and brush my teeth, often as I can. I do have like that anti-acid attack toothpaste or whatever to try and help minimize the damage. But yay, brush your teeth, people. Brush your teeth. My favorite color, an epic saga. I would say the earliest color that I remember being like, this is my favorite color. There was a brief time when I was young where yellow was my favorite color. Then it went to purple. This was around first grade or so. I think it was in queue with Legends of the Hidden Temple and the Purple Parrots, because that was my favorite team. So that was probably the big impetus. Middle school, high school, it kept switching from blue and green, back and forth. Through most of undergrad as well. And then all of a sudden, a couple years ago, orange. Orange is now my favorite color. I am in southern Arizona, meaning I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I know, I'm terrible. I've been to Sedona, like, twice. I've been to Flagstaff once, but I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I must write this, or correct this. Bad Medji. Oh boy. Usually when people grow up, it's, you get your driver's license at 16, you get you get to drive a car, 21 comes around, you drink some alcohol. I did those backwards. I started drinking before I got my driver's license. Yeah, not something I'm really proud of. But, I rarely drink anymore. Maybe once a month, if even that. So, just kind of staying on my thing. I was like, I was so close. But, no, yeah, I wound up... I had my first, bit of alcohol, I'd say a good 6 months before I even got my driver's license. But, so, yeah, that's that. Bad Benji. Gamers Lament. There are a number of games that, as of late, I wish I had kept. When I was younger, I would just be like, oh, I had fun playing this game. Let's go ahead and sell it to, somebody else. Or, try and make some money off of it. Nowadays, I've become very much a video game pack rat. I want to try and... I want to salvage the nostalgia. That's what I want to do. But in terms of games that I wish that I sold, that I wish I hadn't, nothing like super rare or super, I don't know, maybe it is super rare, I don't know. There was one I had called The Fantastic Adventures of Dizzy. That was a unlicensed game, so maybe that would go for money nowadays, but who knows. Another one, unlicensed game by Codemasters called Quattro Adventure. It was just basically a, collection of smaller games. So I had another Dizzy game. Dizzy was like this egg guy. It also had like a Donkey Kong clone with kangaroos, a good Robin Hood game, and some kid named Linus underwater, and I never got out of the first level. So if you want to look that up, go for it. And then lastly, Turtles 3 Manhattan Project. I was able to re-find Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, a couple years ago, but those other three I have yet to be able to, reclaim. So, yeah, I miss those. Number 10. Hi, Dad! For all practical purposes, I met my father at my college graduation. Again, I had seen him a couple times before, at random family functions, but I had never been close with my father. I was close with my grandpa on his side, but never with my father himself, because he had his other wife, he had his other kids, it just wasn't a big deal with me. Yeah, finally my college graduation, when I got my bachelor's degree 2 years ago. That's when I think we legitimately had our first conversation ever. It was kind of impressive. very memorable for that, I would say. The fifth grade blues. Of all the years that I spent in school, that I have spent in school, I hated fifth grade so much. It had some good parts. Fifth grade was probably the best I was ever at PE. Like, I was actually good at PE in fifth grade. I don't know how, but I was. Was it fifth grade? Yeah, because fifth grade was when I had to walk to and from school. And, it was, I had to do it. And, not too big a deal. But just a lot of other things going on. Me trying to figure out things in life made fifth grade very, very annoying. And then it definitely became confrontational with my goody two-shoes side versus the, you're supposed to be a practical person by now thing, but I don't think I've ever really gotten over that. The Land Before Time is the saddest movie ever. I have been traumatized by that movie when I was little. I honestly cannot remember a thing about it, except running out of the theater crying. That is all I remember. I've tried to watch reviews and stuff, so I can only assume that it's when somebody dies in that movie, but I don't know, maybe I should just, buck up and watch it again, and I'll probably end up crying all over again. I don't know. But yeah, saddest movie ever. I would like to take organic chemistry. Not that I need to take organic chemistry, but just so that I can say, hey, I took organic chemistry. I would probably fail the lab miserably. I barely passed regular college chem lab somehow. I don't know. I got put with weird people, and we were always the last one to finish the lab, so we always had to help clean up. But I don't know. Something tells me it was like, if I really tried organic chemistry, I could probably do it. But I know organic chemistry is a major commitment, so it's not really something I can just take on my spare time either. Gonna be a guitar hero. I won my Wii playing Guitar Hero. It is the only reason that I have a current gen system, which is already going to be passe by the end of this year now with the Wii U coming out. But yeah, so I won my Wii at a Guitar Hero competition. I had been practicing on Guitar Hero 2. I've been playing it a lot originally because I just loved Guitar Hero 2. But then when I heard that there was going to be a tournament, I was like, I have to practice at this. So I would spend, probably a good hour, 2 hours a day practicing that thing. Just all the different songs. And I really knew that it was just going to come out to who I was up against, what songs we were playing, that was going to determine it. Fortunately, the first couple rounds were a piece of cake. I easily won on Mother by Danzig, and Killing in the Name by Rage Against the Machine. That's what got me into the semis. And the semis, I had to play Jessica by Allman Brothers Band and Beast and the Harlot by Avenged Sevenfold, which I was positive I was going to lose to because I just had not been able to figure out the strum pattern for the verses of the song. But now, even now, I'm still not good at it. I'm decent at it, but I was very surprised that I won that. And so I got into the finals, and of course the finals was Freebird. And, oh my gosh, so we started playing Freebird. It's the whole song. We finally get into the fast part of the song. So we're a good 4 or 5 minutes in already at this point. And then the projector that we were watching, somebody accidentally tripped over the power cord and unplugged it. So we had to start over again. This was actually a big thing. It was there were probably a good 50, 75 people watching us. We were outside, just on campus by the student union on a big projector screen. It was kind of awesome. But yeah, some idiot accidentally tripped over the power cord. So meaning that we had to start over the finals again. Fortunately, I was less fazed by the stress than the other person, because I could tell that the other person had they had a major they had a psychobilly freakout, was what they had. I was just like, okay, that is not fun. We get to do this again. Yay! And either that or just pure luck, I managed to win by 20,000 points at the end of the second time of Freebird. I think I was winning after the first time too, but I'm really not sure. Oops, did I skip one? Oh no, I forgot a number, so I'll just have to make up something at the end. Number 4, a lesson in portmanteaus. I'll put up annotations for this thing. Where does, sometimes I go by Big Mac here on YouTube, but elsewhere I prefer to go by Agigobo. Or Augie, sometimes for short. You've seen me use it in a couple videos, probably here and there. So what is that, or, where did that come from? Well, it actually came from Guitar Hero as well. I was just trying to think of cool names, for bands, and then I was like, oh, I want to do something in Spanish. And so I was trying to think of, something awesome, and then I came up with Agigobo, which is actually a portmanteau, or I guess a compound word, I don't know how you want to describe it as, of the Spanish words águila for eagle, and lobo for wolf, so wolf, eagle, eagle, wolf, whatever. Apparently somebody else has independently come up with that screen name as well on the internet. That's fine. I don't claim stake to being like the one that came up with it. I just came up with it when I was playing Guitar Hero. I was like, oh, that sounds like a cool band name. I'm gonna write it down. And that's been my band name on all my Guitar Hero games ever since, and Rock Band too, as well as Rock Band. Also, of course, the other one, Big Mac by Gillette. Where did that come from? And as usual with most people's screen names and emails, it came from high school stupidity. I don't remember all the details, but we were just spitting around random things, and because we were talking about fast food all of a sudden, and we were just doing some kind of weird, word association thing. Again, it was lunchtime, we were bored. I distinctly remember it being 10th grade, so it was right before Spanish and right after my calculus class. Yes, I took calculus as a sophomore in high school. Anyway, so me and my friends, we were just talking about fast food, and then all of a sudden we talked about McDonald's, and then all of a sudden Big Mac came out, and then somebody was like, Mac Daddy, and then somebody was like, Mac 3 Razors by Gillette? There you go. It's a combination of razors, fast food, and pimps. Okay, that's weird. Whatever. Number 5, quit picking on me. I don't know how that fell down here out of place, but whatever. I've only been bullied a couple of times. I actually consider it pretty lucky. Maybe because I was usually pretty quiet, very nice to people, so, I didn't really, bring myself up to get bullied around. It happened a couple times. I didn't really report it or anything. It was just, I knew they were being stupid, so, and they didn't, it was one-time things, so I didn't really let it bother me, although, the fact that I still remember them, I don't know, hard to say, but fortunately I've only been bullied a couple of times, so, I guess it does get better. Number 2, I am a bad Catholic. I have not received confirmation yet. I know, I'm sorry. You're supposed to do it during high school, and I just haven't. I was going to... My mom actually talked me out of it over the last fall. Our parish was like, oh, we're going to have adult confirmation classes in November, and I was like, sweet, I'll sign up for them. And she's like, oh, no, honey, you're far too busy to, with school and everything else to go to a silly thing like that. And I'm like, why are you stopping me? And yet she did. I don't know. So I just need to, bite the bullet on that one, get through with it, come to appreciate it. But until then, I still haven't got my confirmation. Number 1, 3, sure. 2, no way. I have never ridden a bicycle.